Hello, namaste. Welcome to this little tutorial for forward bending, forward folding. What you're gonna need today is 2 blocks and a belt. This can be a yoga belt or any other belt you find. It should be long enough, and if you hold it in your hands, it should be double the length down to the ground. So in this tutorial, I'm just gonna explain some words, some terms I'm gonna use during yoga sessions, during yoga exercises, to get a little bit more of an understanding of the forward folding. So when you stand in a hip width distance with your feet pointing to the front and you firmly grounded into the floor, when you just bend forward now and you're rounding your back, you will not be able to reach that far down to the ground. So here it's important to understand the difference between the tilt of the hips of the pelvis. So if you imagine your pelvis like a ball and it's filled with water, when you roll your pelvis to the front, you will split water in the front, and your tailbone, which is the lower base of your spine, will look up. So you create a higher arch in your lower back. When you go the different way, so your pelvis tilts to the back, you can imagine like a wheel here, it turns to the back, turns back, and you're creating like a flat lower back. In the flat lower back, when you go down, you will create a round lower back, and you can't reach that far. So when we want to bend forward, we want to lengthen the hamstrings, so the backside of our thigh muscles. And we do this already when we tilt the pelvis and the tailbone goes up to the sky. We are already bringing the hamstrings from the knee and the hips in the length. So only with this movement, you're already lengthening your hamstrings, which are the most important, one of the important things for bending forward. And then keep your knees slightly bent and just tilt forward with your upper body. So bend forward and trying to maintain a straight back. And now when you're here in the center, try to bring your knees a little bit more forward. And with this motion, your tailbone a little bit higher. So you create length in your hamstrings and then lower down forward. Bend forward and imagine you want to connect your thighs with your belly first and not your chest with your knees first. So we just want to fold from the hips down, 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 all the way down. And you can always put your blocks in front. So through the yoga exercises, whenever we do forward folding, you can always have your blocks in front or next to you. But whenever it comes to forward fold and you're not able to reach the ground yet, just put your hands on your blocks so you can still maintain a flat back, tailbone goes up. And imagine in your head a higher arch in your lower back. Through that you will automatically reach higher with your tailbone. And then you go down. So the same concept is when we sit down on the ground and we sit in the L sit. So the legs are straight, feet toes pointing towards us, and our knees are micro bend. So micro bend is a term of not really bending completely, but activating and pulling the kneecap up. So you can try and sit down and then you really activate your thighs and hyperextend your legs. So you will see that your heels will reach a little bit higher. And if you bring them down again and activate your kneecap again, your thighs, you have this little micro bend, which is also important to protect your knees and surrounding tissues. So when we're here in the L sit now, it's really the same with your hip. You can tilt the hips forward and backwards. And you can already see that when I'm rolling my tailbone down, I'm creating a round back, and it's harder for me to reach forward, to bend forward. So first of all, we're bringing the flash of our butt back. So really grab it so that we're sitting on the front edges of the sitting bones. And then tilt your pelvis again so that your tailbone reach high and you're creating a higher arch in your lower back. So this curve in your lower back. And with this motion already, you probably can feel that you're lengthening your hamstrings. Keep your knees activated and slightly bent, and just walk forward. Imagine now again you want to connect your belly with the thighs first. So, and here we need the belt, if you need it, and you can pull it over your ball of the feet and grab it like this. Roll the shoulders back and down, and now imagine you want to pull yourself forward to bringing your belly forward towards your thighs, to connect it forward with your thighs. And then you can slightly walk forward with your hands, even more, to connect your chest with your knees. It's the next step. And then you want to imagine to bring your crown of the head forward towards your toes. So creating this length again. So this is, when you look at this again, this is a completely different motion than when we're sitting on the flash of our butt and our tailbone is rolled down. We're creating a hunchback. I want to reach forward. It's totally different than the other way around, and you're not creating this length in your back, and you're more likely to hunch your back, and it's more exhausting. So this is not the way where we want to go, because the forward fold has a lot of huge benefits as well for the body, in terms of metabolism, in terms of creating length in the back side of your whole body. And with just bending forward and aiming to reach the feet and somehow with force, you will just hurt your lower back. So we want to align ourselves straight forward. Imagine you want to reach forward and then fold down. So you can repeat this tutorial a couple of times, and when you already get it into your head, you can just skip the tutorial for the next time and just immediately go to the stretching session. Hello, namaste. Welcome to this little stretching session today. So we're gonna focus on forward folding, so bending the upper body down towards the feet, towards your thighs. And for this you need 2 blocks today. And you're going to need a belt, which should be long enough that you can fold it double times or one time when you hold it like this. And then we start the session in a standing position, and I want you to look down towards your feet and find a hip width distance. It should be like either you measure it with your feet, that you put heel on heel, and where your big toe is, you bring it up and slide it back. Or the same way you can measure it when you put your both fists in between your feet. It should be your hip width distance as well. And try to find your feet parallel on the ground. Reach your toes up and firmly bring them down again to really connect all of the parts of your feet equally. And then imagine you're growing higher and higher, rolling the shoulders up as you inhale. And as you exhale, roll them down to the back. And then just close your eyes for one moment and arrive here in your body, arrive here on your mat. And prepare your mind, your body for the practice. Activate your kneecaps. Micro bend your knees slightly. I'm finding this activation in your whole body for Tadasana, for the mountain pose. Inhale deeply into your belly, into your chest. And exhale, allow the breath to fall out from your mouth. Relax your chin, your jaw, your shoulders. Relax your forehead. And as you inhale, slowly open your eyes. Bring your arms up over your head. Look where your hands are going. And exhale, turn your palms together. Bring your hands down in front of your chest. And bring your hands onto your hips. And tilt your pelvis so that your tailbone reaches up high. So you're creating this high arch in your lower back. Imagine a ball again where you split the water to the front. And then bend your knees. So imagine your knees wants to go further, your tailbone wants to reach far away from your knees. And then slowly lower down into a chair pose. And whenever you go even lower, imagine that your tailbone wants to reach higher and higher, and your knee wants to go forward. So in this motion, it's not important that you bend forward with your upper back. We really want to create this length in the back side of your legs. You can put your hands in the front in prayer position. You can bring your arms up high for your chair pose, whatever suits you. Creating the fire in your belly, the heat in your body. Inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward. Keep your knees bent. So it's like in a skiing position. Bringing the hands down to the ground. And then from here, just straighten your legs a little bit more so that you still can maintain a straight back. And interlace your hands. So grab your opposite elbows and make a frame for your head here. And it really doesn't matter how far you have to bend your knees. Try to maintain flat or a higher arch in your lower back. So whenever you feel, okay, I'm hunching my back, I'm getting round in my back, bend your knees even more to, again, rest your belly on your thighs. Take a deep breath in. And exhale through your mouth. Bring your hands down to the ground, bend your knees, and slowly roll up again with a round back now. So the tailbone goes down, the chin towards your chest, belly button goes towards your spine. And as you roll up all the way, roll your shoulders back and exhale. Great. Gonna go another round. Inhale, reach your arms up high, make length in your body. And exhale, bring your hands in front of your chest. Bring your hands onto your hips and tilt your pelvis to the front, higher arch in your lower back. Bend the knees and slowly sit down into chair pose. The more you lower down into the chair pose, the higher your hips wants to reach, the higher your tailbone wants to reach high. And your knees are going far away from your tailbone, from your hips. You can also put your hands on your thighs. And lower, lower, lower down. Inhale. And exhale, fold forward into the skiing position. You can always grab your blocks to put your blocks in front of you. Shoulder width distance in your hand on the blocks if this is too much for you. And also here, bringing this awareness into your lower back and reaching your tailbone high. Inhale and exhale, lower down, extending your legs a little bit more. And if you next inhale, slowly roll up vertebra to vertebra. Keep your knees slightly bent. And exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up your arms. Create length in your body. And exhale, bring your hands down in front of your chest. Bring your hands onto your hips. Lift the tailbone high and lower it up. Sit low as you can. Bring your hands on your blocks and walk your blocks a little bit further to the front, and then extend your legs here. So again, extend your legs only that far that your upper back is not hunching, it's not rounding. So imagine I'm straightening the back, but the legs, but my back will curve. This is too far, so keep your knees bent. And it's like a really high down dog. And then just bring a little bit movement in your legs, but bending and extending one leg after another. Still maintaining the straight back here, creating length in your back. Beautiful. Just play around here. How does it feel in your hips? Where do you feel the tension? Always checking in, where is your lower back? And then from here, we're just bringing both hands down to the ground, bring your blocks to the side, and walk a little bit more forward into this down dog position. So we're going first into, let's start in a all fours position to really align our down dog. So you have your wrists underneath your elbows, underneath your shoulders, put all fingers into the ground, and your knees underneath your hips, and your toes parallel to each other behind your knees. Take your toes in, lift the knees, and as you exhale, push back. So imagine you want to push the ground away, and reaching your tailbone high. So the aim goal is not to bring your heels to the ground and straighten your legs. If you can do this, do it. But we want to focus more on the length in our back. So when you bend your knees a little bit more and lift the heels off the ground, you will be able to lengthen your back even more. And then you can slowly start just walking a little bit and bending, extending one leg after another, bringing your heels more down to the ground. As you inhale, shift the weight forward into plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your knees down, chin and chest down to the ground, tailbone reaches up. Unroll your toes, and as you inhale, roll up into a big cobra. So cobra pose, roll the shoulders back and down, elbows close to the rib cage, open your chest up. Relax your lower back. Inhale. And exhale over your knees, tuck the toes in. And back in your downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale. And step forward in between your legs with your right, and between your hands with your right leg. And if you can't reach it, just grab it, pull it to the front. And bring your back knee down. You can always put your hands onto your blocks next to you and just open your hips here. So first we allow ourselves to really sink into this motion, into this stretch. Opening the chest, no matter how high your hands are. Really want to create this length here in your upper back now, in your chest. And then slowly extend your legs in the front so that you're reaching higher. Bring your arms up to the sky and roll your tailbone down. So you have another motion here. So actually the opposite what we're doing in a forward fold. We're rolling the tailbone down and then sink down again. So you should be able to feel the stretch here in your left hip flexor now. Bring your arms up. Imagine your hands, crown of the head, wants to reach up to the sky, to the ceiling, and your hips wants to reach to the front. And you see I'm more in an active position here. It's not like I'm falling down into this stretch, really active here. In this active position, I'm bringing now my hands down to the ground. And then lift your back leg here. So this can be with the hands on the block or on the ground. As you inhale, coming up into high lunge. Imagine your back kneecap wants to reach up high to the ceiling. Your front knee wants to stay over your foot ankle. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground or on your blocks, and in one step forward into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. So extend your back straight. You can bring your hands onto your shins or on your thighs. And exhale, fold forward. All the way down. Bend the knees slightly and roll up vertebra to vertebra. And exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Beautiful. So now, step with your right leg. Just one step back. Both feet are looking to the front. Both hip flexors looking to the front. And then point your toes up towards the ceiling. So the toes wants to go towards the shin. Your kneecap is activated. Micro bend your knees. And then slowly sit down again. Same motion as we did in the chair pose, but now with one leg extended. And now you can fold a little bit more forward with your chest down. Still maintaining this lower back curve. You will feel the stretch in the back side of your left leg. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale, step forward. Inhale, reach up your arms, slightly bend to the back, open your chest, and exhale, swan dive down. Hands on your blocks or next to your feet. As you inhale, halfway lift up, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Walk your down dog again and bring motion in your hips. See how it feels. As you inhale, roll forward with round back into plank pose. And bring your knees down to the ground. So this you can measure with how your the alignment of your downward facing dog. As you inhale, open your chest, and as you exhale, round in your back cat pose. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll down, cat pose. One more time into cow pose. Open your chest, tuck the toes in here, lift up the knees, and as you exhale, shift back, downward facing dog. And step your left foot in between your hands. Again, if you can't reach forward, just grab it, place it to the front, and bring your back knee down. And then first we fall again into this hip opening and allowing yourself to really create this stretch here. You can put your hands onto your blocks or keep them on the ground. Now with your next inhale, lift up, extend your front leg a little bit more. Bring your arms up high. Create length in your back, in your spine. And as you exhale, roll your tailbone down and bend the front leg again until your front knee is over your ankle. Your tailbone goes down and both hip flexors wants to reach to the front. So you feel the opening in your right hip flexor now. Keep on breathing. Inhale. And exhale, bring your hands down onto your blocks or on the ground. Lift the back kneecap. Inhale, coming all the way up into high lunge. Lower down your front thighs or your thighs parallel to the ground. Imagine your right kneecap wants to reach up high, so your back leg is extending. Inhale, and exhale, bring your hands down in one step to the front, forward fold. Exhale, inhale, half lift up, lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders back, hands on your thighs, and exhale down. So we roll up vertebra to vertebra, roll your back round, and exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Shift the weight onto your right leg and step with your left leg one step back. Extend your toes up towards your shins. Tailbone reaches up high, lower arch in your back, higher arch in your lower back, and sit low. Inhale. Exhale, bend your body a little bit more forward. Inhale. Exhale. With your next inhale, straight back, come up and step it to the front. Inhale, bring your arms up high. Exhale, sit low into chair pose. This time go all the way down. How far can you go? Even though if you need your hands, just grab your hands to the ground and finding the sitting position. Then hop back a little bit more with your butt and extend your legs to the front. You're gonna need the belt now. Grab your flesh from your butt and bring it to the back, so you're really sitting on the front edges of your sitting bones. And bring the belt over your feet. Extend your back, roll your shoulders back and down, open your chest. And you can also close your eyes to bring the focus in your body even more. Imagine your tailbone reaching high. Your knees are slightly bent, micro bend, and then slowly pull yourself forward with your back so that your thighs are connecting more and more with your belly. And even though you have to bend your knees here more, feel free to do that. You don't want to hunch your back here. You really want to feel this length in your lower back, connection between your thighs and your belly. And slowly you can try to walk with your hands a little bit more towards your feet. And really stay there where you are. Respect your level, respect your body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And with your next exhale, round the back and allow your elbows to rest down. And now you can really rounding your whole back, round your whole back. Your chin goes towards your chest, your tailbone goes down. And slowly roll up as you inhale. And exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Then hop with your butt a little bit more to the front so you have enough space to lay down. You're gonna go into a plow pose. And with this you can grab your knees and slowly rolling down all the way until your shoulders are on the ground. And then you can bring your hands down next to your body, extend your legs to the sky, to the ceiling, and with a little hop, or with your muscles, bringing your feet over your head. So if your feet are not able to touch the ground here, no problem, keep your hands down on the ground and just adjust yourself here with your hands. You can also bring your hands onto your lower back to support them a little bit more. And if your toes are touching the ground, you can interlace your hands into each other and roll your shoulder blades more towards each other, and then tuck your toes into the ground and finding more length here again. So it's the same forward fold, just upside down. What you can also do is to place your blocks over your head. You can also ask a friend, family member to adjust you, and then bring your toes higher onto your blocks if they're not touching. And wherever you are, slowly bend your legs at the knee here. Bring your hands down into the ground and roll vertebra to vertebra down to the ground again. Bend your legs at the knees so that your knees going more direction to your armpits. And from the inside, grab the outside of your feet for happy baby pose. This is the last position for today. Allow the lower back to rest on the ground. And slowly bend your legs at the knee. Bring your knees together here. Bring your toes down to the ground and your arms next to your body. So best way you could extend your arm down. I can't do this with the wall here, but feel free to find a way. And then bend your both knees, twist to the right side. Coming up again as you inhale, twist to the left side. Always looking the opposite direction. Just giving your lower back a little bit of a twist here. Whenever you come back, connect your lower back with the ground again. To your lumbar spine. And then come back to center. Bring your knees a little bit wider so that your heels a little bit wider so that your knees can drop in, and find a connection and a natural curve in your lower back. Bring your hands on your belly and just close your eyes. Just allow the breath to move into your system and out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sigh out. Now you have the option here to stay a little bit longer. Feel free to extend your legs if you want to. You can go into a little meditation, or you finish your practice here in a very gently, respectful way towards your body, and slowly coming back into the room and opening your eyes. Do whatever feels right for you now. Thank you very much for joining, and hope to see you soon again.